ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about DanMachi, and I really love this episode, mainly because of the flashback we got at the beginning of the conversation. I really liked Alice's point of view, and we're gonna get to it. Also have some interesting developments in the dungeon with the Xenos, the group, them finally getting a glimpse of hope about Belle, but also really liked the relationship, the mentor-student thing that's happening between Belle and Ryu, with them still going through hell in the deep floors there, and seeing how much Belle is improving with everything. But it also ends on a pretty interesting cliffhanger with them discovering something big in the dungeon, in the deep floor. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, this was probably one of my favorite things about the episode. The conversation at the beginning picks up from last week with the flashback right after you had the debate with Kaguya, her still being very frustrated here, and we have Alice coming in, and she knows how to approach Ryu, how to talk to her. Even we see the technique there being with the finger calm, how Ryu learned that the same way she calmed Belle back in the dungeon. Just shows how much she cared about her family, how much they meant to her, and also how much pain Ryu has inside with everything that happened there. But I really appreciated how Alice handled that situation with talking with the idealist versus realist theme that we had last episode, telling Ryu that she likes part of her thinking, but it's not the right choice. There's basically no right answer in the conversation like that. Would be nice to have both of them, but you can't really have that unless, and we're gonna get to it. But what matters when you do something like this, it matters your effort and what you leave behind, because yes, at some point you're gonna have to make sacrifices, tough choices for your ideals, but it's also very important to strive for ideals, to have something to fight for, to have a goal in mind. And I really liked the conversation there from Alice. And when she was leaving, Ryu asked her, what if you can make your ideals into reality? And Alice answering, there are people like that can do it, and we call them heroes. And I'm paraphrasing a bit, of course, but I feel like that's more than likely referencing Belle, and he's definitely the hero, and the hero of the story, of course, being the main character. But that conversation there, just Alice, I really liked that so much, and I just still wish she was alive, the entire Estrella family would be alive, but we wouldn't have had this awesome season that we have right now. But definitely Alice is one of my favorite characters, even though I've just seen glimpses of her. I really liked how she's thinking, how she's looking, has that smile, the way she talks to people. She's a fun, awesome character that can also handle serious subjects from the little we have seen of her, and makes Ryu still one of the best girls in general, the more we find out about the flashbacks. And I really like how they're handling this with each episode, more and more flashbacks. But back in the present, we have the Xenos versus the monsters, still fighting. There's Xenos saving them. Venus shows up, hugging with Haruhime reuniting. I've missed Venus so much. I'm glad she's back. I hope we're gonna get to talk to her more, find out what she's been doing, how she has been. And another really good thing that this season has showed that they're doing with the music hitting perfectly when they're fighting, that it just hits so much and at the right time. Just reminds me of Fairy Tail and the fighting music. You can hate Fairy Tail, but you can't deny it has a great music there, and DanMachi hits it perfectly here. Also the reactions from some of the group that didn't know what the Xenos were doing there. Why are they helping? Lily tried to explain a bit, but it's not that easy to explain. But yeah, that was a fun moment. Also have Tsubaki's group showing up with them joining the fight against the monsters, Lily telling him not to attack the armed one, referring to the Xenos. And Tsubaki sees what Valve has achieved, sees the sword, and realized everything, the way she laughed there, and yeah, welcoming, telling him congrats and welcome him to hell where they are there. And I feel like that sword is gonna have huge ramifications for the entire world, the crafting, everything. I'm curious what Hephaestus' reaction is gonna be when she finds out what Valve has achieved there, but it's probably gonna change a lot of things in the world of DanMachi. Same way with Marie, a character that is there. And speaking of Marie, we have also Tsubaki joining in the fight, starts cutting pretty easily. She seems like a fine fun character. I hope we're gonna see more and more of her. This is what I like about DanMachi, like the mythology, the families, the gods, all of them, seeing them. I hope we're gonna see more and more of the other characters and so on. This season they have done a really good job with kind of making Bella take a bit of a back seat in some episodes, putting the emphasis on some of the other characters, some of the other families. I hope they expand the world and the characters more, and I feel like this is the perfect season for it. And hopefully next one, I hope we're gonna get more seasons. But yeah, Marie also showing up, telling Rido that Belle is in trouble, probably in the deep floors. We have the Xenos rushing in there to save the Shout, gathering all of them to go after him, and one of them telling Lily that what they found out from Marie, that Belle could be in the deep floors, and join us, we're gonna make a path for you. So this emboldens Lily, which I really liked Lily quite a lot in this episode, the way she took charge of everything. Even going to Anya, part of Tsubaki's group, just directly tell me what your level is, and everybody else what level. But level 4, the poor cat girl. And this allows Lily to decide to all of them to go down, but of course Daphne, being against it, kind of voicing what everybody had internally, and Lily was like, no objections. No, taking no refusals, everything that we are doing this. And even Bor saying, no, I'm not. Aisha teleport behind him, nothing personal, you are doing this, threatening him. Aisha is awesome, of course, and I wish Aisha would threaten me at some point also. Yeah, don't judge me. No, Aisha, yeah. And they finally all agree to go down and do it. And this was kind of the first half of the episode. The second half handles more on Belle and Ryu's point of view. We see them fighting more and more monsters. Belle even has I have the high ground moment against some of the monsters, and Ryu taking notice at how much Belle is improving in a situation like this, thanks to the pressure, thanks to everything. Also Belle being Belle, is him taking both the advice of Ryu and remembering the lessons from Ice, also just shows how much of accelerated growth he has, and he's like a sponge absorbing everything. Even Ryu having to fight some of the monsters, attacking them from behind, using a move from Kaguya. I really like how much Ryu is still thinking of everything she has lost, all of the family members there, still having a huge influence on her. And I wish they could see her. I hope I don't know, maybe in the heaven or wherever people go when they die in DanMachi, they see how Ryu is after everything that has happened. Now, also, like I said, Aisha joining the Heste family. I hope Ryu is gonna join also, because she's one of my favorite girls. I know I've said it in a lot of videos. Ryu, Aisha, and Freya, best girls in DanMachi. Now we have them fighting more and more monsters. This weird barbarian monster like a bullfrog shows up. Belle saves Ryu, beats them, but he also gets saved by Ryu at the last moment there. So they're working together very, very well. While they had a moment to breathe a bit, they talk with Ryu, telling him the name of that monster that was after them, the Juggernaut. Also some snippets of information from the past, that apparently Seer saved Ryu, and this figure in clad in black, and Belle kind of deduces that it was Fels. With we see the flashback with Fels telling Ryu not to talk about the Juggernaut, and they're gonna ignore everything that she did for revenge. And I hope after everything is settled and done, we're gonna have hopefully Belle, or at least Hestia, face to face with Fels and Uranus to explain everything, have a proper conversation about the Juggernaut, about the dungeon. Hopefully we're gonna find some of the bigger mysteries in the series, and also have the big one with Evilus, considering what happened in Ryu's past here. But before Ryu could go into more detail, they get interrupted and she kind of dodges the question a bit, and after that we see the Juggernaut still on the move, still that gem affecting it. But the monsters were completely scared of it. The ones that have been posing so much trouble for Bell and Ryu, the Juggernaut was just mowing down to them, even eating them. And meanwhile Ryu and Bell were being surrounded by skeletons and more other monsters. Just all shit hits the fan, chaos. Other monsters comes in, even the poison one, the Peluda with needles, witch and fire breath, and kind of helps them a bit because they were very much surrounded. Thanks to the Peluda, they attack also the other monsters in the chaos there. They throw some blaze rocks, but during the chaos one of the Peluda hits Bell in the shoulder with a poison spike. And I really liked the quick thinking, quick action that Bell had there, using the unicorn horn from that Bell Velv crafted to stab himself. The determination he had there to redirect the poison out of him, and looked very excruciating, very painful. Even Ryu was shocked a bit at what she was seeing. But after that, they're still in a very tough situation. This dungeon just keep going through hell, yeah, would be an understatement. Out of potion, wounded, they have to make a tough decision there. Mainly Ryu does it, saying we're gonna have to follow the path on the map that those adventurers they found took. But something very curious, at some point they stopped or they turned back. Something prevented them from moving forward, and while they were following the path, Ryu starts recognizing the terrain, and she says we're on the normal route. But this normal route doesn't look very safe, to say the least, because I really like how ominous it looked, this death bridge, and the closer they got, this weird ruin or whatever it was, and Ryu calling it the Colosseum. And this was the cliffhanger that the episode ended on. Now I don't know how they're gonna get past that. What does it mean, the Colosseum there? Are they gonna have death battles against monsters? Is that the place for the floor boss of floor 37 where they are right now? I don't know, but it didn't look like a normal route. Why would that be the normal route? Does that mean everything else is worse, what they've been experiencing right now? I don't know, but it was an interesting cliffhanger. So yeah, I really like this episode quite a lot, mainly thanks to Elise. We also see more of the dungeon, the relationship between Bell and Ryu, the mentor-student they have right here, even the cute moments we had last episode. This season has definitely been my favorite, and I like it quite a lot. Now, I'm really curious what you guys thought about the episodes, the characters this episode, and would you like Aisha to threaten you also? So let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So make sure you also check out the podcast, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.